You're going to use the percent composition formula to figure out the percents of every single element. That's your whole objective, okay? So yesterday's objective is to get all of those percents, and you had to figure out the compound, right? The chemical formula. Well, you can't figure that out without the percents. And so right now, that's what I'm going to show you right now, is how to figure out the percent. So let's do number 1 together. This is going to go on page 40 of your INB notebook, okay? Your compound here is copper 2s. And you're still going to need the total weight of copper. That's what's going to go up here on the top part of your formula. That's this part right there. Okay, up here. Okay, so look at your periodic table. How much does copper weigh? 64, very good. And how many coppers do I have? 2. So 64 times 2, 128. Okay, I heard 28. Okay, so 128. Now, on the bottom part, you're going to get the total mass of the entire compound. So if copper is 128, how much does sulfur weigh? Yep, it's 32, right off of the periodic table. So now 28 plus that 32, 128 plus the 32. Okay. All right, so now you're going to get your calculator. Make sure it's clear. 128 divided by the 160 equals times 100. This is going to give you your percent for copper. So how much is that? 128 divided by the 160 equals times 100. There should be no phones on right now.
80? 80? I have a game though. Me too. I just came and checked in.
As long as it's in my email.
Okay. I didn't click right.
Okay. All right. Bye. Good luck.
80?
80? 80%. Very good. Now, it doesn't give you any other numbers? No. Okay. Now, for percent composition, you do have to be a little more precise. Okay? So if you had, like yesterday, you had a lot of 88.8, 23.4, like that. You're going to have one significant figure after the decimal point if it's available. Like here they didn't, right? All right, so now let's go to the other one. Let's do sulfur. What's my total mass for sulfur? 32. The 32, very good, because there's only one. It stays that way. And you still do the molar mass of that compound on the bottom, which is 160. Very good. So 32 divided by 160 equals times 100. Now what's going to be my percent for sulfur? Yep, very good. Now you notice how all of it adds up to 100%? Yes? Your whole sample should add up to 100. Even when you have like 24.6 or 37.1. Now here you only had 2 elements, but the compound that you're doing right now for the lab, sugar has how many elements?
4.
You have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So you have 3, okay? So what you're isolating right now, your whole product is the gum, and you're ingesting the sugar, right? And so what you're going to do in the lab today is you're going to actually figure out the percent of the sugar that you're ingesting right now. Okay? Yes? Okay, now I want to make sure that you're doing it okay, so do number 2 by yourself. And tell me what your percent is. Do number 2 right now. For number 2, it is 80% for the bromine. Did anybody not get that? You don't know how to do it? Okay. Remember, you have to look at the formula. You need to get the total mass of what it is you're looking for divided by the total mass of the entire compound. Okay? That's your whole objective in here, is you're isolating one element or one compound out of your whole entire compound or mixture. Okay? Is there another question? That's for bromine, the weight, but the total percent composition of bromine is 80%. Okay? So you have to take that 80 divided by the total molar mass of calcium bromide. Okay? All right, now, number 3 on the bottom, that's a little different. We see how you have 2 compounds? Yes? Okay, what's happening there is that you have a solid, okay, mixed with a liquid. Okay, now usually in math, what does that dot mean? That you multiply, right? But here you're actually taking the solid and you're putting your liquid in the beaker and you're putting the solid in the beaker and you're mixing it. It gives you an aqueous solution. So are you multiplying anything? No, you're adding it together, right? You're putting it in the same beaker. So you're going to ignore the dot and you're going to make a plus. You're adding both compounds together, okay? So now, what are we looking for? The H2O. So what's my total molar mass for H2O? 18. Very good. Now you have a coefficient of 2, so it's going to be 18 times 2. How much is that? 36. So my molar mass for water is 32. Remember, whatever you're looking for, it's going to go on the top part, okay? Now you're going to divide by the entire molar mass of the whole compound. So there you have 32 for water. How much does chlorine weigh? 36. Good deal. Okay, so this would be 36. Now, chlorine weighs how much? 35. And you have 2 of them.
70.
So that's a 70. And calcium weighs how much? 40. Very good. So now 40 plus the 70 plus the 36 is going to give you the total molar mass of your calcium chloride dihydrate. So how much is that? One what? 146. Very good. Okay. Okay, are we good? Do we have a question? Are we sure? Okay, so now 36 divided by 146 equals times 100. What is my percent? Okay, very good. Now, look at your calculator carefully, and you have 24.6. Can that 6 be rounded off?
Yes.
Okay, so then it would be 24.7. Very good. And this is your percent composition of water for this compound. Okay, guys, where are we playing around? Where do we have a question?
No, I was just trying to figure out.
Guys, I'm gonna.
But you add the top and bottom?
No, no. The top gets divided by the bottom.
And then times 100?
Equals, make sure you put the equals, and then times 100. Okay, especially if you're using your phone. Okay? All right. Where else do we have another question? Are we sure? Are we positive? Okay.